Are you working? What kind of work do you do?
Welcome to the Philly EDC Holster Clinic, where Kydex craftsmen from across America and beyond are sending in their holsters for us to give them our honest feedback about what could be better, what could be improved, and what they're doing right. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to episode 5 of the Philly EDC Holster Clinic. The demand for this has been really insane. I didn't predict at all that we would get this many submissions, so we're trying to get through them and get the work done as best as we can. So today we're going to do 3 at once. These guys are going to be pretty easy. They're all really great, and I don't have a whole lot to say about any of them in particular because the stuff that's showing up here is just so freaking good. On average, it's really rare to see something that I would go, oh, well, you know, I wouldn't buy this. So it's like it's fantastic, and I'm really happy to see that you guys are having success. And like the stuff that we get in, you know, people are sending us stuff that has like really nice brochures or like really nice packaging, which we'll get into. And everybody's got like stickers and business cards, and you guys are getting it in. That's awesome. First off the bat, we've got a holster from Greg Robbins at Aspis Tactical Solutions, and he sent in a little letter. And in the letter, he describes that he was a jeweler for many years. That's his primary job. And let me tell you, I can tell. Look at the attention to detail on this. This is probably one of the just most immaculate finishes I've ever seen. I might actually have to call him up on the phone and get a tip or two from him about how he does these, because these are like mirror butter perfect. The belt loops are they look like they came out of a machine. They are perfectly square and everything. I can't quite tell if this is 2 different colors or if it's just the way the flat dark earth heats and cools. Is this 2 different colors, Mikey? Yeah, because we saw a couple issues with a few batches of the flat dark earth, whereby if you heat it to different temperatures or heat it at different rates, you can actually get it to come out as 2 different colors. So let me check the paperwork here. Doesn't seem to indicate anything. But at any rate, the definition on this is great. I love the emblematic spacer he put in here. Whenever you build a spacer into a mold, guys, it's a great opportunity to do something kind of interesting. Our friend Rob over at Off the Grid, when he builds his light channels, he puts like a very intentional design into them, so they're not just functional; they can become ornamental. And if you have a like a theme or a concept or logo that you're going with, anytime you make an addition to the gun shape, you have an opportunity to take advantage of that and emblemize or brand or do some more creative design work there. And I'm glad to see that people are taking advantage of that. The retention on this holster, perfect. It's nice and firm and tight. It's smooth. There's plenty of clearance for suppressor height sights, which should be pretty great. The one concern I have with this is the amount that this curves. I cannot fit any belt that I own through this space here. Now, like we've said in the past, the temptation to overly curve these holsters to achieve some sort of ergonomic goal is really, there's a lot of temptation there. We tend to think that the more it curves, the more it fits your body, but you kind of have to take into consideration other factors. Insofar as the shape of your belt isn't always the shape of your body, and you're wearing clothes, and there's all sorts of other things going on, such that, yeah, while this does look like it would fit somebody, you wind up in a situation where, here, let's look at it from the top. The way this curves is going to result in the gun being entirely parallel to the shape of your body, rather than it tucking in to your side. So what I would do here is I would say the overall width of this could be reduced. It's feasible to take another, to move these at least a 1/2 inch inboard, shave down this edge of the holster, because we all know that, you know, once you start running a lot of gear, you can get Batman belt and the belt space becomes kind of precious. I would orient this one a little bit further inboard, probably to about where you have that crease right now, which by the way is perfect. And I would not, if you're going to keep this amount of curve on the back, what I would do is I would put taller standoffs in here behind the belt so that I can actually attach it to my body. That was the only concern that I have about this holster. Just be more considerate about the varieties of belts that people have, and don't fall into the temptation of making a holster that's extremely wide just for the sake of getting some sort of ergonomic benefit from it. And that's about it. I love the brochure. I encourage you guys who are looking for outside the waistband gear to check him out, because it is obvious to us that he puts a lot of care and pride into these, and I'm looking forward to seeing him make just tiny little changes. So thanks for sending us this. The next one is another thing that makes me extremely happy and does not require really that much criticism or correction. This is from Genotac, and it comes in this great box with a little note, and it comes like so preciously packaged. This thing is like really, it's like a joy to open it up. So let's take a look at a couple things here. The carbon fiber finish is pretty good, and just like what I was talking about, it's entirely possible to reduce the footprint of this while still have something that's ergonomic. Threading a belt through this is entirely feasible due to the height of the belt loops, and he has also done something a little daring, which is taking these from 3/4 of an inch down to, I think, about 1/2 an inch, which gives you more leeway to run stuff through. But given the construction of this, I don't anticipate it being a problem. The finish on this as well is, I'd say, 95% immaculate. It's really good, and he's even gone as far as to put a little mold in here to make a little logo. Let's see if we can get that to show up. The G for the Genotac. I think that's very clever. One criticism, I see that you've put in a sight channel here. The sight channel doesn't go all the way to the end of the gun, so that means that somebody will have a very easy time putting their gun into the holster until it gets to about here, at which point they will shred the Kydex on their front sight, as kind of like what we have going on here. Let's see if we can, yeah, because the suppressor sight is going to run into an issue sort of towards that area of the gun, and let's see if I got any shredding. I didn't get any shredding this time, but it's possible that you could run into a circumstance with that. Second of all, I think the retention on this is a hair too tight. I'd say this is probably, it's about an 8 out of 10. I would dial that back to about a 7.5. And aside from that, this edge here is just a little sharp. Just I would consider attacking that a little bit more. I would just attack that edge with the buffing wheel, such that you don't like turn it into like a little blade. Just like small fit and finish kind of issues here, and that's about it. I really like that, for something sort of smaller like a Glock 19. To have it kind of like flare open at the bottom, you run into a situation where you kind of have to like really compress the holster, and then sometimes you just run into a circumstance where compressing the size of the holster messes with some sort of like ideal proportion. If I were to crop it down to about here, it would start to look a little more squat, which, while you do get like a little bit of open muzzle drainage flow through, it kind of like, it just makes it look a little dumpy sometimes. But what I like that you've done is you've sort of like kept that sort of good proportion, kept it looking nice and slick, and you've put a just perfectly drilled, it's not like jagged or there's no like burrs in there, like just a perfectly drilled little drain hole. And I think that's fantastic. Good use of hardware. I do like the color contrast with the carbon fiber. I like how you've properly relieved this area. I would just make sure that you don't have like sharp bladed edges, and keep up the good work, man. I think you can charge whatever you want for these, and that makes me very happy. And the last one for today that we're going to talk about is from KirkComp.com from our friend Steve Kirkner. He actually had a specific question regarding the edge fit and finish, and he was concerned that he was having some sort of like inconsistencies here. And we kind of tackle this as well. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but it goes sort of shiny, matte to shiny again. And this is solved by being a little bit more aggressive with the buffing wheel. Do you think we should go demonstrate that? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go take a look at this. See, let's see if we can get that to show up accurately. You see what we're talking about? How it goes from shiny to matte to shiny again.
I can figure out how to use the camera.
Yeah. Well, come on. Didn't you know it was going to be your job to be the cameraman when you signed up?
Not in the description.
So yeah, there's some little edge inconsistencies here, and this is just solved by being slightly more aggressive with your buffing technique. And let's see if we can get this to pop back up. And what we're doing is we're just sort of cutting back against the direction of the wheel, and in one spot we've already been able to pick up some of that, eliminate some of the funkiness that was going on. Now, ideally, you're going to buff this before you've riveted it together, so you can kind of here, I'll show you on one of these guys. Just grab something out of the bin here. So if you're buffing it before you've put it all together, you can sort of spread it open and get the edges a little better. So, at any rate, maybe it's better to see it here. Yeah, it goes kind of like matte again down here. So, you just need to know how to work that wheel. And be a little bit more aggressive. Now, what you can do is you can take a look at our video on Kydex buffing basics. It's nice to have a wheel that's a little firmer. These yellow wheels are, come on, slow down. These yellow wheels are a lot stiffer than the white cotton wheels. So get yourself one of these. These are great for taking out all the imperfections. We really like this compound, the Gray Star Premium, and it comes off with Windex and whatnot. And here, let me just give this guy a wipe down real quick for the rest of the video. Yeah, so check out our video on buffing basics and just follow those steps. Or what I would really recommend you do is get in touch with the fellow over at Aspis. So, Steve, you should contact him and ask him about buffing. Because this guy has it together, really together. Yeah, so the dimensions of this holster are really good, the retention's good, the definition's good. I like how you've relieved out the controls here. My only recommendation is that you not use this clip. I've been playing with this holster for a couple days on and off, and every time I draw the gun, it slips off my belt. That is way too flexible for the kind of heavy duty that constitutes carrying a gun. Have not figured out how to get this on my belt such that it remains on my belt through any draw stroke in any position. So I would recommend switching out the kind of clip that you use. Take a look at multi-holsters and they've got a video on how to make that clip. Those things seem pretty good, and they're not as flexible as these, and you can continue to use all the same hardware and stuff that you've accumulated for this kind of assembly, and it fits right into your process, including how you relieve these holsters out to mount the clip. So this clip, considering that it's a Blade Tech unit, it adds a lot of cost, I'm sure, while not being quite sturdy enough. I don't have a lot of confidence in this clip, but that's really my only suggestion, man. Take a look at our Buffing Basics video, maybe contact Aspis, see if he's willing to share some of his magic buffing Jedi voodoo with you, and come up with a slightly better clip solution for this that doesn't cost you a ton of money and works a little bit better. So that was episode number 5 already. We've got a couple more folks here to cover. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.